Buddhadhamma, uh, chapter 5, the law of karma, section 3, criteria for good and evil. This is 5.3. A good and evil, the subject of kamma, is directly related to the subject of good and evil. To understand kamma more clearly is thus important to touch upon the subject of good and evil. The concept of good and evil for good and bad poses a difficulty on the account of the meaning of these words in English and the criteria for evaluation. The author here, of course, is speaking about the equivalent words of in Thai, di, gapsua, but the same analysis applies in English. What determines something to be good or evil? This dilemma, however, is preliminary confined to English. The Pali terms dealing with these concepts are clearly defined, as will be discussed below. The English word good, in particular, has a very broad range of meaning. Someone who behaves virtuously is called a good person. When people eat delicious, agreeable foods, they call the food or the restaurant where it is served good. An engine that runs efficiently or smoothly is called good. A wooden mallet that serves its purpose is called good. A movie that is fun and enjoyable is called good. A painting beautiful from an artistic point of view is called good. Or if it fetches a higher price, it is called good. Likewise, a successful, well-managed school with clever students is called good. The same table may be called good by 3 different people, but for various reasons, one person says it is good because he considered it beautifully crafted. The second says it's good because it serves his purpose for writing, and the third says it's good because he sells it for a high profit. Similarly, the same object called good by one person may be called bad by others. Some things seen from one perspective are good, while seen from others' perspectives are bad. Some behavior in one country or society may be considered good, while in other countries or society it be considered bad. There are no conclusive answers or completely clear guidelines. One may have to distinguish between morally good, aesthetically good, and economically good. The reasons for this confusion is that these matters having to do with the same sense of value. The terms good and bad can be used across the entire spectrum with referring to the sense of value. Therefore, these terms' definitions are so broad and diverse. To avoid this confusion, we need not use the English terms good and bad in this context. This way, we need not discuss the relative merits or the value of things as they appear to different people. There are a few points to bear in mind regarding the subject of good and evil in relation to kamma. In this context of good and evil, the specific Pali term is kusala, wholesome, and akusala, unwholesome, are used. Respectively, these 2 terms have clearly precise definitions and principles for evaluations. The analysis of good and evil here is directly related to the law of kamma niyama. In the study of Theravada Buddhist ethics, the concepts of kusala and akusala, wholesomeness and unwholesomeness, are the views as natural phenomena, sabhava. They are not viewed in light of the relative sense of value. If one wishes to use the term value in this context, then it's the value connected to a natural truth, not to the value assigned by human beings. They are not viewed in light of a relative sense of value. The study of relative value pertains to the level of conventional truth, sammati niyama, or of social prescription, Sangama, Panyati, whose parameters are clearly distinguished from the law of kamma, kamma niyama. The law of kamma is connected to other laws. The connections of particular importance includes internally. Example, within an individual person, the law of kamma, kamma niyama, is based on a psychological law, sita niyama. And externally, the law of nature is connected to the conventional law, sammati niyama. In regard to this latter relationship, it is important to clearly separate the boundaries between the law of kamma and the conventional laws, although there is a link between them.